Come closer. The shadows have missed you, and tonight they have a new story to tell. Welcome to Scary Stories After Dark. Bethany pressed her hands against the revolving glass doors and stepped into the lobby of Hallstrom and Vale Corporate Solutions, the place she'd dreamed of working since college. Her heels clicked across a marble floor polished so perfectly it reflected her silhouette back at her like a shadow that didn't quite match. She paused. The lobby was empty. Not quiet in the normal early morning way, but vacant, as if no one had walked through it in years. Rows of chairs sat flawlessly aligned. The receptionist desk gleamed. A bowl of pens sat untouched, the tips all pointed in the exact same direction. Even the air felt still, like a held breath. Bethany swallowed. It's early, first day jitters. That's all. Her phone buzzed, a message from HR. Welcome. Your department is on floor 47. Elevator access is to your left. She followed the arrowed decal, her footsteps echoing too loudly. The elevator doors slid open before she pressed the button as though it already knew she was coming. She hesitated at the threshold. The interior lights flickered once, but she stepped inside. Floor 47, she whispered, pressing the button. The elevator hummed to life, smooth, almost soundless. Her stomach fluttered with nerves. New job, new life, just breathe. The bell chimed, the doors parted, and the office floor looked perfect. Hundreds of desks stretched in immaculate rows, each one identical, each one precisely angled. No coffee mugs, no scattered papers, no jackets draped over chairs. Everything pristine. Everything waiting. But no people. Bethany stepped into the room, her pulse tripping. Her assigned desk sat near the center, nameplate already set, laptop open. As she approached, the screen glowed brighter. Welcome, Bethany. The words typed themselves across the blank document. A cold ribbon of dread curled in her spine. She glanced over her shoulder at the silent rows of empty desks. Okay, she whispered, barely breathing. Where is everyone? No answer. Only the elevator doors closing behind her. Softly. Like a trap. The silence of floor 47 clung to Bethany like static as she wandered between the desks, searching for anything normal. A coffee cup, a jacket, a half-eaten granola bar. Anything human. But everything was spotless, sterile. Perfect in a way that made her skin crawl. Her heartbeat tapped nervously against her ribs. Coffee would help, something warm, something familiar. She could find the break room, maybe another early employee, someone who could explain this. She pressed the elevator button again. The doors opened immediately, too immediately, like they'd been standing there, waiting for her. Lower floor, she murmured, and hit 20. The ride felt longer this time. A faint hum buzzed around her like whispered breath. Bethany rubbed her arms suddenly cold. Ding. The door slid open. This floor wasn't empty. Rows of employees sat at their desks, backs rigid, shoulders perfectly squared, fingers flying across keyboards. Hundreds of them, typing fast and precise. No conversation, no clearing throats, no shifting chairs. Just a mechanical clatter of synchronized keys. Bethany stepped out slowly. "Hello?" Her voice cracked in the stillness. No one reacted. She moved closer to the nearest worker, a man with combed silver hair, posture ramrod straight. "Excuse me," she tried again. "Do you know where the break room?" The man froze mid-keystroke. Every other typist froze too. The entire room went still in an instant, like a single switch had been flipped. Bethany's breath hitched. Then they all turned their heads toward her at the exact same time. Hundreds of eyes, unblinking, expressionless. She stumbled back, heart hammering. "Oh, okay, never mind. Wrong floor, sorry." One worker tilted their head an inch too far, neck popping. Another inhaled sharply, the sound dry and hollow. Bethany darted for the elevator. She slammed the button. The doors crawled shut as dozens of stiff figures rose from their desks. The last thing she saw before the doors closed completely. All of them standing. All of them watching. All of them smiling. Bethany's pulse still throbbed in her ears as the elevator rose again, carrying her away from the smiling strangers below. She wiped her palms on her skirt. She needed to go back to the lobby, go home, tell HR she'd made a mistake. Something, anything normal. She hit the L button. It didn't light up. Her stomach hollowed. The button wasn't malfunctioning. The elevator simply refused. The car shuddered once, deciding for her, and began to descend. Ding. Floor 13. The doors slid open to utter darkness. Not dim lighting. Not after-hours quiet. A void. Bethany stepped back, instinct screaming, but the elevator's interior lights flickered violently, and for a split second she saw something move out there. Something tall. Something wrong. The light steadied. She forced herself to stay still, fingers hovering over the panel, but another flicker lit the floor in a jagged strobe. And the creature was closer. Thin like a starved shadow. Arms too long, dragging across cubicle walls, its head tilted as though listening. Bethany slapped the closed door button. Nothing happened. The creature slipped between flashes, now crouched low on the side of a cubicle, limbs hanging like ropes, its joints bent backward with soft clicks. When the elevator flickered again, it was on the ceiling, spidery and massive, its face a smooth sheet of skin with a vertical slit pulsing down the center. A breath hissed through that slit, a curious, excited sound. Bethany punched the button again. The creature's arm slid down from the ceiling, fingertips brushing the elevator threshold. Its nails were long, black, rattling softly like insect legs. The doors finally jerked into motion. Just as they closed, the creature lunged, slamming against the metal with a shriek that vibrated through Bethany's bones. The elevator shot upward, shaking as if fleeing for its life. Bethany pressed into the corner, shaking. This building wasn't empty. It was alive. And it had noticed her. The elevator rocketed upward in terrified bursts, each jolt rattling Bethany's teeth. She clung to the rail, breath ragged. Her reflection in the brushed metal trembled too, shaky, pale, wide-eyed. "Please," she whispered to no one. "Just let me out." The elevator slowed. Ding. Her guts dropped. She hadn't pressed anything. The doors glided open. Another elevator sat directly across the hall, its doors open, its lights buzzing faintly. Inside stood a row of people shoulder to shoulder. 10 of them. Bethany's breath snagged. They weren't people. They were her. 10 Bethany's. Same suit, same hair. But wrong. Their mouths stretched inches too wide, split ear to ear. Their eyes were enormous, glossy black saucers reflecting the flickering lights. Their hands hung at their sides, fingers lengthened into talon-sharp points. Bethany couldn't move. Her heart hammered so loudly she felt it in her skull. The row of Bethany's tilted their heads in unison as though studying her. A soft chorus of giggles floated from their throats, thin, breathy, delighted. No, 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 no. Bethany stumbled backward, hitting the elevator wall. One stepped forward, then another. Their movements glitching, jittery, like corrupted video frames. Bethany slammed the close door button. The doors didn't move. The Bethany's crept closer, tilting, twitching, grinning too hard. Their nails scraped the floor in sharp ticks. One lifted a hand and tapped the frame of her elevator. Tap, tap, tap. Bethany screamed. The doors jerked but stalled halfway, opening again as if the building wanted her to accept them. All 10 Bethany's leaned in, grins splitting impossibly wide. And the doors suddenly slammed shut. Something heavy crashed against them from the other side. Nails screeched down the metal. Giggles erupted into shrill, unhinged laughter. The elevator surged upward violently enough to throw Bethany to her knees. She pressed her hands to her ears, shaking, panting, praying. The building wasn't just alive. It knew her. It could copy her. And it wanted her to see herself break. The elevator slammed to a stop so violently Bethany's vision burst with static. She toppled sideways, hit the floor, and everything went dark. When she blinked awake, she wasn't in the elevator. She was at her desk. Her perfectly assigned, pristine, impossible desk on floor 47. Her laptop glowed softly. "Welcome back, Bethany." The cursor blinked, then flickered. "You have a message." Her breath trembled as she leaned in. Another line typed itself slowly, as though someone were writing from far away. "Meet me on floor 10. Hurry." Bethany's skin prickled. She scanned the room, still empty, still flawless, still too quiet. No sign of the creatures, the typists, the mirror copies. Just the endless rows of untouched desks. She stood on unsteady legs. Some part of her wanted to curl under her station and hide, but another part, the desperate, rational fragment still clinging to hope, whispered, "Someone else is here. Someone alive." Her pulse quickened as she stepped into the elevator again. She hesitated before pressing 10, but the button lit immediately, this time without resistance. The elevator descended smoothly, humming low. Ding. The doors opened to a dimly lit floor with scattered cubicles and old tech equipment stacked haphazardly, a floor that didn't match the immaculate ones above. A man stepped out from behind a partition. Bethany froze. He looked about her age, messy hair, wire-rimmed glasses, a wrinkled company badge clipped crookedly to his shirt. His expression was weary but gentle, eyes wide with the kind of fear only someone who had been here too long could carry. "You're real," he breathed, relief flooding his face. "I wasn't sure if— Never mind, I'm Mitchell." Her throat tightened unexpectedly. He felt familiar, like a face from a childhood town she couldn't name. "How did you know I was here?" she whispered. Mitchell swallowed. "Because I've been waiting for you." Mitchell led Bethany through the cluttered 10th floor, weaving between abandoned servers and old filing cabinets stacked like tombstones. The air felt different here, stale, heavy, as though the building didn't pay attention to this level. Or couldn't. "How long have you been here?" Bethany asked. Mitchell hesitated, his brow creased. "I don't know. A while. Time's strange here. Some floors erase it." "Erase it?" Before she could press, a low groan trembled through the walls. Mitchell stiffened. "They found us." He grabbed her hand, warm, real, and pulled her toward the elevator. Bethany didn't understand what they meant until the lights flickered and a metallic scent drifted in. Blood. The elevator doors shut just as a wet thud slammed against the hall outside. Mitchell hit a button at random. Not the same floor twice, it notices patterns. The elevator dropped. Ding. The doors opened to a corridor drenched in red, blood dripping up the walls, sliding toward the ceiling like gravity had reversed. A smear of handprints trailed along the floor, leading to a lone sneaker lying on its side. Bethany gagged. "Someone died here." "Lots of people," Mitchell whispered. Something scraped overhead. Bethany's eyes darted up, dark silhouettes pressed against the ceiling, skittering with too many limbs. Mitchell slammed the close button. The creatures slammed back, rattling the car like a drum. Bethany clung to the railing until the doors finally sealed. Her chest heaved. "What are they?" He didn't answer. Because the elevator lights flickered, and for half a heartbeat, Mitchell didn't cast a reflection in the metal paneling. Bethany blinked hard. The next blink, his reflection returned, slightly out of sync. "Mitchell," she whispered. He straightened, forcing a smile that didn't reach his eyes. "Next floor. Stay close." The elevator hummed, descending deeper, as if the building itself were dragging them down. And Bethany couldn't shake the new dread curling into her ribs. She wasn't sure Mitchell was entirely real. The elevator jerked to a halt, hard enough to rattle Bethany's teeth. Mitchell steadied her with a gentle hand, but something in his grip felt strange. Too warm, too familiar. Like a childhood memory she couldn't quite reach. Ding. The doors slid open. Bethany stepped into a carpeted hallway bathed in sterile white light. For a moment, it looked normal, quiet, empty, harmless. Then her stomach twisted. The walls were lined with frames, hundreds of them. She moved closer, pulse stuttering. Each frame held a photograph of her. Bethany at 7, missing front teeth. Bethany at 13, awkward braces. Bethany at 21 in her graduation gown. What is this? Mitchell didn't answer. Bethany's gaze dropped to a framed drawing pinned between two photographs, a childish crayon picture of a girl holding hands with a boy. The boy had glasses, messy hair, and a crooked smile. Her breath caught. "I remember this," she whispered. "My imaginary friend. I called him..." Her voice failed. The name slid away from her, just beyond reach. Mitchell stepped closer. "Bethany," he murmured, and for the first time, his voice sounded layered, like two versions speaking slightly out of sync. "You weren't supposed to see this floor." She turned to him sharply. Mitchell flickered. Not a light glitch, a person glitch. His outline stuttered, edges dissolving into static, then reforming. "Are you real?" she whispered. Mitchell looked at her with aching softness. "I'm real to you. I always have been." Her entire body went cold. "Mitchell, why do you know me?" The lights overhead buzzed violently. The photographs trembled in their frames. A low rumbling filled the hall as though the building itself were growling. And Mitchell's form flickered again, this time revealing something hollow behind his eyes. The elevator doors slammed shut on their own. Bethany lunged, but the car rocketed upward, too fast, too violently, sending her crashing to the floor. The last thing she saw before her vision broke apart was Mitchell reaching for her, mouth forming her name, but dissolving into static before he could touch her. Bethany's eyes fluttered open to a soft, humming brightness. Her body felt weightless, numb, like she'd been floating for hours. When she tried to sit up, leather straps tugged against her wrists. Panic flared. She wasn't in the elevator. She lay on a narrow bed in a pristine white room. No windows, no furniture except a metal chair and a heart monitor that wasn't attached to anything. The walls glowed faintly, too bright, too clean, as if bleached of all life. Her mouth was dry. "Mitchell?" Her voice echoed back at her, small and uncertain. No response. Only the calm, steady hum of fluorescent lights. The straps released suddenly with a metallic click, as though unseen hands had unbuckled them. Bethany pushed herself upright, throat tight. She rubbed her wrist, expecting marks. There were none. A soft chime drifted through the room. She turned. An elevator stood in the corner that hadn't existed a moment ago. Modern stainless steel, polished so thoroughly she saw her reflection in it, except the reflection didn't quite match her movements. Her chest tightened. The elevator button glowed faintly. 10. Her heart hammered. No, I'm done with this. The elevator chimed again, gently, almost inviting, as if it knew she had nowhere else to go. Bethany backed toward the wall. "Mitchell, please, I need you." A faint static crackled in the air like a radio tuning in. For a moment, she swore she heard his voice, soft, familiar, aching.
"I'm here, Beth."
Tears stung her eyes. "Where? Why can't I see you?" Another flicker of static, a shimmer near the elevator, almost shaped like a person before it dissolved. Her imaginary friend. Her protector. Her haunting. The elevator doors slid open. Inside waited nothing. Only soft white light. And the familiar hum of rising floors. Bethany pressed a shaking hand to her mouth. The building hadn't let her go. It had only changed shapes. She stepped forward because there was no other choice. The doors closed gently behind her. Ding. The elevator began to rise.